Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. My name is John, one of the tech engineers here at LS. Today, we'll go over 4 main low voltage electrical products and also go over selection process of each product. So the 4 products that we will cover are contactors, MMS or manual motor starters, MCB or miniature circuit breaker, MCCB, that would be a molded case circuit breaker. Okay, so the first product that we'll go over is the contactor and overloads. Here you can see the overview of our contactors and overloads. Some of the highlights are we carry a wide range from 6 amps to 2650 amps. These are thin rail and screw mountable up to 150 amps. We offer 3 and 4 pole configurations, and we also have a vast variety of accessories for any motor starter or control panel application. And of course, we have UL, CSA, CE certification, and our product also meet UL 508 standard for industrial control equipment. There are 10 different frame sizes. Here you can see the last 5. Each frame size has a group of contactors within them. So for example, if you see 225 amp frame size, there is MC 185 amps and 225 amps within this frame size. All 480 volt contactors have a short circuit rating of 100 kA, and all 600 volt contactors have a short circuit rating of 65 kA. So this is the front view and then the side view of the contactor with the nameplate. So on the nameplate, you can see UL size, NEMA size, and wire size, and you can also see the date of manufacturing and all the certifications that you will need for inspectors. The contactor is probably one of the most common components in an industrial motor control application. Selecting one correctly requires some detailed information to be provided. So what information is required to correctly select or specify a contactor? So there are 3 key elements to a contactor. So main contacts, also referred to as main poles, auxiliary contacts, and then coil, which would be a part of the electromagnet used to energize the contactor. So, in order to select the correct contactor, you will need to know the main pole. So you will need to know the current rating, and then the voltage rating in AC or DC, and finally the duty either in AC1 or AC3 or DC1 through DC5. So AC1 would be your low inductive load, AC3 would be your higher inductive load. So in absence of a specific duty, a full description of the nature of the electrical load would be required. Second is the auxiliary contacts. A lot of contactor application require extra aux contacts. So for our product, our 18 amp frame size, which would be MC6A through 18A, come with one normally open or one normally closed aux switch. So you have an option to choose between one normally open or one normally closed. Our 22 amp frame size, which would be MC9B through 22B, come with one normally open and one normally closed as standard. And the rest of our frame sizes come with 2 normally open and 2 normally closed as standard. So that's a really nice touch there. And then the third criteria for selecting a correct contactor would be the coil. So voltage of coil would be one of the crucial thing to know. And we offer a wide range of coil voltages, and we also stock them in our warehouse in Chicago. And this is the catalog numbering system for MC contactors. So this is really straightforward and easy. So the first section is the product amperage combined with the product code name, which would be MC. And then the second section is the main contactor. And then the third section would be your auxiliary contact. And then you would see coil voltage. So we have a wide range of coils. And we also have a table for this. So if you look at the catalog, there should be a table for a coil selection. And then the final thing would be your terminal type, screw, lug, or hex bolt. Let's look at the overload now. We have adjustable current dial, trip indicator, reset selector, and a stop test button on our overload. And our overloads come with one normally open and one normally closed aux contact as standard. Okay, just like the contactor, the catalog numbering system is also very simple. MT is the product code name, and the next would be your frame size. And then after that, you would choose your the type of overload. So differential and non-differential. So the difference between those two is differential is considered to be a higher sensitivity relay as it has a phase failure detection. Whereas a non-differential doesn't have a phase failure detection. So for example, if you're using a non-differential overload, it could allow a motor to be single-phased. If one of the phases drop and the current remains below the threshold for tripping, this will cause premature failure of the motor. So to be safe, I would recommend using differential because it has a phase failure detection. Here is the picture of contactor and all the accessories that we offer. Here are some of the most frequently used accessories. So interlock, wire kit. So the combining interlock, wire kit, and two contactors make up a reversing contactor. Unfortunately, we do not stock pre-assembled reversing contactors. So if you need a reversing contactor, you would need to order two contactor plus an interlock unit and a wire kit. So the wire kit only goes up to 100 amps. So anything above that, you would have to manually wire it. So the wire kit product code is the UW. So depending on the size of the contactor, you would select a UW 18, 32, 63, or 95. And then the interlock unit from this range, so 6 amps to 100 amps, the interlock would be UR-02. So for the bigger sizes, MC100A to MC800A, the interlock unit would be AR-180, or for the bigger sizes, it would be AR-600. And as I mentioned before, you would have to wire this, or using this diagram here, you would have to make your own wire for the wire kit. And we offer 3 variations of aux contacts. So we have side mount, and then we also have 2 front mount variations. So these can be used on across all the metal cell contactors, so common use for all metal cell contactors. And coils are also, replacement coils are also available from 6 amp to 150 amps, and we also have 85 to 800 amps. So it would be dependent. So I have a list of stock coils. So if you need coil stock information, I can just send you a list. And we have it's of course it's UL listed, and it's meets all the UL 508 industrial control equipment standards. So, and then combination motor controller type A, type C, and type F. If do you guys have any question regarding the contactors, or you can
Hey, John, if somebody buys a contactor and overload, will it come with a NEMA classification on it?
you mean the NEMA size?
Correct.
So yeah, so on the nameplate there should be a NEMA size on. So I also included a NEMA size table in the slides here. So if you look at this, so it's not going to be on the overload. It would be on the contactor, I believe.
Yeah, I was asking for clarification because, you know, a lot of people want to know if LSIS is a NEMA rated starter. And I know the ones that I have seen used in starter applications have that NEMA rating on it. I just wanted to let you confirm that.
So let's look at the nameplate. Because I think I came across this, so I think someone else requested us putting a NEMA size rating on the nameplate. But I don't think we have the rating on the nameplate here. So would you say it would be crucial to have a NEMA rating on the nameplate?
If it's a contactor and an overload joined together as a motor starter, people are looking to see typically on the contactor NEMA 1, NEMA 2, NEMA 3. Like for instance, we sell to Motortronics in Florida, and everything they get has to have NEMA rating on it. So when they use a NEMA, when they use a starter, which is the contactor and overload, it has it on it.
Hey, could you guys hear me? It's Steven.
Yeah.
The contactors have the NEMA rating printed on the front of them.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, it's on.
It's just not on this picture because this is an old picture, so like we could actually technically update it, but like it'll have NEMA 0, NEMA 1, NEMA 2.
It's actually on, like below the CSA mark. It's actually on there, NEMA size.
Thanks.
Yep. Okay, let's move. Okay, so the next product that I'm going to talk about is the manual motor starters. So manual motor starters are electromechanical protection device for a main circuit. They are used mainly to switch motors manually on and off and protect them fuseless against short circuit, overload, and phase failures. Fuseless protection with manual motor starters can save cost, space, and ensure a quick reaction under a short circuit condition by switching off the motor within milliseconds. So fuseless starter combination are set up together with a contactor. So it is also possible to replace a typical motor protection of an MCCB contactor and overload with an MMS and contactor combination. And this combination is also known as a combination motor starter. In addition to Class 10 adjustable bimetal overload, the MMS also include a fixed magnetic short circuit trip mechanism designed to trip at 13 times the maximum current rating. As you can see here, we have a standard model which is indicated with an S. H is the higher braking capacity model, and finally HI would be the high instantaneous model, which only has the magnetic trip at 13 times the max current. So here is the front view of the MMS32H. So for MMS32S, it comes with the rocker type operating handle, and it can be locked in the off position. So as you saw, MMS32H/HI come with the rotary type operating handle, and it can be also locked in off position. So the difference between S model and the H model is the braking capacity, also known as a short circuit rating. So if you look at the KA rating on these, you would see that the H model have a significantly higher KA rating compared to the S model. Here is the MMS63 S, H, and HI. In this frame size, all three variants share the same structure. And also for the MMS 100, S, H, and HI all share the same structure. And these are the accessories that we offer with the MMS. So I'll go into more detail in the next slides. So the Aux contacts for the MMS, we have the front mount variation and then the side mount on the left side. So the front mount aux switch, it comes in two poles. So you can choose between one normally closed, one normally open, or you could have two normally open or two normally closed. And then the side mount, same as the front mount, it comes in one normally closed, one normally open, two normally open, or two normally closed. And LA would be your any type of trip indicator. So alarm switch pretty much. But it comes in, so it doesn't have a two normally open option. It only comes with one normally open, one normally closed, or you could choose two normally closed. And you can stack it up with the LX. But on MMS 63, you can't stack it up. And the LAM would be, it would serve same function as the LA, but this would be for the magnetic trip only. So when it's tripped on short circuit. And it's also stackable with LX. So L means it's on the left side. So all these are on the left side of the MMS. And then on the right side, you could use a under voltage release. You can only mount one per module, and these you cannot stack. And then RUX would be your under voltage release with switch. Just like the RU, you cannot stack them, and you can only use one per module. And then the shunt release, it would be your RS. So direct adapter for MC, it's called DA. So you would not need any cable wiring. And then you would also have an option to buy MU, which would be the mounting plate for the MMS and MC. And you can also you have an option to buy screw mounting plate. So this would be called MP-32. It's only offered in a 32 MMS 32 configuration. And also for the if you need a plastic enclosure, you would also have an option to buy a EPH-32, also only for the MMS 32H/HI. So this would not be suitable for 32S since it has a rocker switch. So that's why it's only for MMS 32H and HI. And then we also have door-mounted extended lower handle. So either in NEMA 1 or 4X. And then we also offer PB, which would be you can connect using PB. You could connect multiple MMSs in a parallel, and LTB would be used for larger gauge wires with the parallel connection to the main power. So here is the numbering system for the MMS. So same as the contactors, it's really simple. So the product code name comes first, and then the frame size. And then, so frame size, we only have three options, 32, 63, and 100. And then you would choose your braking type, standard, high braking, instantaneous, and then the max adjustable amp range. And then this would be catalog numbering system for the aux contact. So front side, left side, right side. And then after that, you would choose your type of accessory. So X would be aux contact, A would be alarm switch, AM short circuit alarm, U under voltage UX UBT with the switch, and then the shunt unit. And then you would choose your contact configuration. So the voltage would be only for the shunt trip. And then the catalog numbering system for the direct adapter and the mounting unit. So so the first comes the type DA or MU, and then you would choose your frame size. So the frame size is gonna be for the direct adapter, and then the width would be for the mounting unit. And then type of connecting MMS. And then the type of connecting MC in AC or DC configuration. So for example, if you need a direct adapter for MMS 63H with an AC operating coil, which would be MC 65 frame size, you would choose a DA-63, which would be your amperage frame size. And then you would go with the H, and then AC coil would be A. So that makes DA/-63 63HA. And for the mounting unit, you don't have to worry about the type of connecting the MMS type or the MC type. You would just go for MU dash the width size. And for the handle, so the handle product code name would be MEH. And then you would select your amperage frame size. So the handle is also not suitable with the MMS32S since the S version comes with the rocker switch. And then you would, after choosing your amperage frame, you would choose the length of a shaft, which it comes in two variations: 115 millimeters, and 315 millimeters. And then for the phase bus, same system here. So the product code name, amperage frame, and then the how many you would connect. So you can choose between 2 to 5 MMSs. Any question on the MMS? Okay, let's move on to miniature circuit breaker. So our miniature circuit breaker are suitable for residential and industrial application. And we have two variations, UL489 and UL1077. And we offer B, C, D trip curves in UL1077. And for UL489, we have B, C, D, and K. As of right now, K is not stocked in our warehouse. So what is a circuit breaker? So a circuit breaker is an automatically operated electrical switch designed to protect an electrical circuit from damage caused by overload or short circuit. Its basic function is to detect a fault condition and interrupt the current flow. So there are many types of circuit breakers. So the first one would be fuse. Fuses operate in the event of short circuit. If the fuse is broken, it must be replaced. So they are one-time use device. Miniature circuit breakers are a small circuit breaker at home or small load at industrial field, usually under 100 amps. They provide overload and short circuit protection. If the MCB is not broken after it trips, it can be reset and used again. And then the MCCB or molded case circuit breaker is a larger circuit breaker at a industrial field, usually up to 1200 amps. So it has the same functions as MCB, but it has added various additional electrical functions, and it can be reset and used again if it's not damaged once it trips. And we also have an air circuit breaker. It's larger than MCCB, up to 5000 amps, often used for main power distribution in large industrial plant, where the breakers are arranged in draw-out enclosures for ease of maintenance. So there are two arrangements of operation of MCB. One is the thermal effect of overcurrent, and other is the electromagnetic effect of overcurrent. So the thermal operation of miniature circuit breaker is achieved with the bimetal strip. Whenever continuous overcurrent flows through MCB, the bimetallic strip is heated and deflects by bending. This deflection of bimetal strip releases a mechanical latch. As this mechanical latch is attached to operating mechanism, it causes the mechanism to open the miniature circuit breaker. But during short circuit condition, a sudden rise of electric current causes a electromechanical displacement of plunger associated with the tripping coil of MCB. The plunger strikes the trip lever, causing immediate release of latch mechanism, opening up the contacts. So there are two types of MCBs, UL489 and UL1077. So let's look at the difference between those two. And let's look at how they distinguish the UL standard. So for the UL489, this would be a branch circuit protector. And it has gone through a way more rigorous testing compared to the 1077 to ensure that they will function as intended multiple times without failure. So these can protect multiple devices and circuits. These can be used both as a branch and supplementary protector. Common applications include branch circuit protection in control panels, panel boards, switchboards, and motor control centers. So UL 1077 would be described as a supplementary circuit protector. So these are not tested to the same standard as a branch circuit breaker. These only need to provide protection one time in testing. These are only intended to put one single device, and they must be used in addition to the branch circuit protector. So the common application for UL 1077 would be motor control circuits, control power transformers, relays, PLC, input points, and lighting circuits. And these are ideal replacement for fuses that are applied as a supplementary protection. And here is the rated current and rated voltage and breaking capacity table for the UL 1077. These are mountable on 35 millimeter DIN rail, and the terminals are lug type, cable up to 48WG, and these have aux contacts as well. So AX would be your aux contact, AL would be your alarm contact, SHT would be your shunt, UBT would be your under voltage. And here is the catalog numbering system. So the system shows the product code name, number of poles, your trip curve, your current, your breaking capacity, and then the voltage class. So these are dual rated voltage wise, so AC and DC. So 1077 is represented by H. So 489 and 1077 are MCBs start with BK63. But the 1077 would be H, just H. 489 would be HU. And here is the same table for UL 489. One thing to remember, so breaking capacity for 480Y-277 volt, it's 10K only from 1 to 25 amps. And same as 1077, these are mountable on 35mm DIN rail, and terminal type is the same. And then they also share the same aux contacts and shunt unit and under voltage unit. And just like the 1077, the numbering system is very similar, or it's exactly the same. So only difference would be 1077 is H, 489 would be HU. And for 489 we offer the K trip curve, so that's something different from 1077. And a couple of the sales points for the MCB, we do have an indication window on and off, and we do have 2 different terminal connection. So you can use ring tongue terminal, or you could use a box lug terminal. And of course we have UL, and it's really easy to install and uninstall. So any question regarding MCBs? Hey Frank, yeah, I should have a temperature derating chart for MCBs. Let me look at it. Let me look for it and I'll send it to you. Okay, so if there's no question, I'll continue. So the next product would be so for UL 489, there isn't any plans forward in the future for higher amperage. We are, as of right now, stuck at 25 amps. If you think there is a need, if we request something to Korea or the headquarters, they want like a number, like how many you would sell, or is there any kind of market for it? So if you can provide that, and maybe I can ask. Okay, so the next product. So you mean like a external log for MCB? So as of right now, I think the best option would be buying a so yeah, I think for as of right now, we don't have any solution for that. Like I said, if you think there is a need for them, and if you could provide like a sales number or market number, that would be something I would be. Oh, you're talking about MCCBs, not MCBs. Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, I think is there a way for us to get like a sales number or like a market number on those accessory? Or I know that that's really hard to find out, but I guess we can figure out something, and I can ask headquarter. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me, Kevin, I'll ask headquarter about this, and I'll try to update you on whatever I get from them, so we can talk about this later on. Okay, so let's go into the MCCBs. Okay, I'll update you too, Andy. So within the Sul UL MCCB family, there are three types of breakers. So there is MCCB, protection against thermal overloads and short circuits and ground faults. We also offer MCS, which would be molded case switch, which are intended for use as a disconnect device only and do not provide overcurrent protection. They contain a fixed magnetic trip. Then there is a motor circuit protector or MCPs. As their name implies, they are intended to protect motors. MCPs are an instantaneous circuit breaker that contain only an adjustable magnetic trip unit. Now that we understand the different offerings within the MCCB family, let's cover the various trip unit options. So for the UTE 100, UTS 150, 250, 400, and 600 amp frame sizes, there are three types of trip units. These are FTU, which contains both fixed thermal and fixed magnetic. And there is FMU, which would be adjustable thermal, but a fixed magnetic element. Finally, ATU, which is both adjustable thermal and magnetic. For the UTS 800 and 1200 amp frames, there are various electronic trip units that we call OCRs. The OCR types will be covered in more detail in the accessory sections. Before we close out the basic section, there needs to be a clear understanding of performance rating of MCCBs and how they are represented in the LS literature. There are a couple of factors that need to be considered when deciding which performance rating is required of your breaker. First, the system's applied voltage needs to be identified. Second, specify the continuous current rating requirements for the MCCB. The continuous current rating of an MCCB is the amount of current it's designed to continuously carry in open air. Each breaker is designed and calibrated to a specific amperage or current rating. So NFPA 70, the National Electrical Code, allows breakers to be applied to a maximum of 80% of the breaker's continuous current rating. Keep in mind that intermittent currents up to 100% of the breaker's rating are permitted, but continuous current applied is capped at 80%. So as you can see in this table, 80% performance is indicated with the NH and L. So, and if you need breaker in at 100% performance, it would be indicated with the T at the end. So the third thing you must know to specify MCCB is the interrupting rating. The interrupt rating, typically specified in Ka or kiloamperage, is the amount of fault current the breaker can safely interrupt without damaging itself. As you can see in the table, the interrupt rating decreases as the voltage increases. Okay, so for the first frame size in MCCB line is the UTE 100. As you can see, there is 4 performance ratings. So the 80% continuous rated is the E and N, and then their 100% rated counterparts are ET and NT. And for this particular frame size, there are 3 trip types available. So the first one is the FTU, which would be your fixed thermal and fixed magnetic. Then there is a FMU, which would be adjustable thermal and fixed magnetic. And then there is an option for MCS with a fixed 1000 amp magnetic trip unit. So the second frame size would be UTS 150. For this one, there is 6 performance ratings. The 80% continuous rated, current rated NH and L types, and their 100% rated counterparts, the NT, HT, and LT. For this frame size, there is 5 types of trip units. The FTU, FMU, and then there is a ATU, which would be adjustable thermal and adjustable magnetic. And then you can also buy this in MCS and in MCP. So for MCP, only 3-pole is available, not 2-pole. So that's one thing you gotta watch out for. And then the next frame size is UTS 250. So just like the 150, it has a 6 performance rating. And it has trip options of FTU, FMU, ATU, molded case, switch molded case protection. And same with the 150, the MCP is only available in 3-pole. For the UT, and then the next size is the UTS 400. 6 performance ratings. Same trip units as the 250. So pretty much the same system here. And as for the 600 also, it's going to be the same. 6 performance ratings. Same amount of trip units. Yes, so the bolt-on lug would mean it can be used with the bus bar connection. And finally, your UTS 800 and 1200. So this is a little different. So the UTS 800 has 6 performance ratings, but the UTS 1200 has 2 additional performance rating. So the 80% P rating and then the 100% PT rating. And then the UTS 800 and 1200 incorporates LS electronic, yeah. OCR electronic trip units. There are several options for OCR trip unit configuration. And as a result, the OCR has its own dedicated section. So the OCR electronic trip relays provide additional protection. It supports advanced measurements functions for voltage, current, power, electric energy, harmonics, and communication. They are only available on the UTS 800 and 1200 MCCBs. They offer additional protections functions such as overcurrent, short circuit, and ground fault. So there are 4 types of OCRs. So N-type, A-type, and P-type, and finally the S-type. All OCRs have a long time delay, short time delay, and instantaneous trip functions. So the N-type would be your bottom of the line this trip unit. So it comes with long time delay, short time delay, and instantaneous and ground fault protection. But it doesn't have a display on it. The A-type has all the N-type functions with the addition of earth leakage measurements, communications, 220 volt power supply, 24 volt power supply, and it has the capability of recording 10 faults, and it has a LCD display on it. The P-type has all the A-type functions with the addition of vector diagrams, recording of up to 256 faults and fault info. And it has a capability of recording events, and it also has a digital outputs. And then the S-type has all the functions, and it can also measure the harmonics. Frank, are you referring to the OCRs? Yeah, so these are field installable and replaceable. But so we have done a few field replacements for these. But so one thing we have to do is change out the part number for them. So I guess we will send you like a sticker or ETS ETM would be electronic unit, not OCR, correct? Yeah. So yeah, electronic trip units for smaller. Yeah, I think I didn't have those trip units listed on the PowerPoint, so I have to add those. Okay, let's go into the accessories for the MCCBs. So we have aux switches, alarm switches, shunt trip, under voltage release, and these are easy to install. And we also have videos or documents on the instructions on how to install them. So if you need them, just email me. So switching out your, what do you mean, Frank? Technically, yes, but it's really hard to do. So you would have to disassemble your MCCB and take out the front cover and then all the small components. It's a pain, but you can do it. But I wouldn't really recommend doing field install. Yeah. So in this table, it lists all the accessory and how they come they are installed on our MCCB. We also have padlocking devices. This padlocking device allows the handle to be locked in off position. A maximum of 3 padlocks with shackle diameters of 0.919 to 0.31 inches may be used. Fixed plate handle locking devices is available from UT 100 from to UTS 1200 circuit breakers. This device allows the handle to be locked in the on and off position. We also have a mechanical interlocking device option. The mechanical interlock can be applied on the front of the two breakers, mounted side by side in either the 2-pole or 3-pole versions, and it prevents simultaneous closing of the two breakers. And we also have terminal covers for UTS 800 and 1200. And then there is a installation barriers. And then our handles. So our handles are kind of tricky to so the part numbering system is kind of tricky, and there is a lot of part numbers that's associated with the handles. There is parts for like a shaft, parts for the handle, and then the mounting unit. So it's really tricky. So what I did was we made a Excel sheet on how to correctly select the handle. So I'll forward everyone who's in this meeting or webinar, and I'll forward this Excel sheet to you guys. So this is the Excel sheet. Let me try to share this to you all on the screen. So this would be the Excel sheet for the handle. So it shows you NEMA rating and the length of the shaft, if these are the compact type or not. So it also has, if you look at the description, it also has all the part number for them. So if you need like REH handle with the 16-inch shaft, you would go here and just select the correct part number and just put it into your PO. So we have this for the UTE 100, UTS 150 to 250, and then we also have we all have all the sizes here. So I'll share this to everyone. And if you have any question about this, you can always email me. Okay, these are all the certification for the MCCB. UL 489, UL 508, UL 486 for the lugs, and NEMA types. We offer type 1, 12, 3, 3R, 4, and 4X. And then the nuclear power plant application Q class 1E. I'm not sure, 100% sure if we have any update on this, but I'll check in. And if you have any question about this, let me know. And for the PowerPoints today, and if you have any question, you can email me at this email address, or you can email me at techsupport.us. Any question or comments? Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. If you have any question or if you have any comments, you can always email me or call me.